Welcome to today's video. Quick reminder, there is less than 1 week left to get entered for a chance to win this Chaser and $10,000 cash. On the dyno right now, tuning it with Jamie. We're gonna do a 93 tune, we're gonna do an ethanol tune, and you guys are about to see what it's gonna make. And we have your power numbers. Luckily, we have a lot of good data. I've been running the ECU Master EMU Black in my yellow Chaser for a while, and the map's pretty refined, so it made Jamie's work pretty easy on the dyno, cleaned up fueling, and it made a whopping 396 horsepower on pump gas. That was about 17 PSI on the G30 660 turbo. I do think it probably had a little bit more in it. 70 PSI on pump gas is on the conservative side. You could go upwards of 20, but it starts to get into a window where you could get into dangerous territory if you have a fueling issue. I'm really happy with that, almost 400 on pump gas. Put some ethanol in it, and we got all the way up to 484 horsepower. You'll see 1Js have a pretty nice power band. I feel like this turbo is pretty well suited to it. This motor's stock cam, so it spools pretty good, and we are making almost 400 foot-pounds of torque by 5 grand. So that's pretty good. ECU Master has a blend table, so if you're running, say 50% ethanol, 50% pump, it will blend in between the two and it can target the right fuel, so your car will run great and you're gonna have a good time, and you'll be able to unlock many other capabilities with your ECU if your heart ever so desires. If you want to turn it up, you can turn it up, but it's got stock head studs, so I feel like 25 pounds on ethanol is kind of my comfort mark, but if you want to push it, you're welcome to. No warranty. Alright guys, this is your event reminder. I will be coming to Puerto Rico for Tuner Evo next week. Wow, it's coming up really soon. I'm stoked to go out there. I'm stoked to meet a lot of you guys. I know there's quite a few of you guys in Puerto Rico that are watching this channel, and I'm stoked to get to meet you. And then I go straight from Puerto Rico to our event that we're doing. The 4th of July Atlanta Motorsports event put on by BC Racing, hosted by Drift HQ. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be drifting the green S15 with its new transmission. I'm stoked to go do some laps in that thing, meet a bunch of you guys. If you're a driver and you applied to enter to drive, make sure you check your email. A few people have had their emails pop up in junk and have been asking where their emails are, if they've gotten accepted or not. Make sure you go check that. I'll put more information about the events down below. Y'all are sick of seeing 1J VVTIs with turbos and drifting and JDM cars. So we're back to the USDM 4-cylinder with a JDM 4-cylinder maybe. We haven't decided. There's so many acronyms and letters. I want to enjoy and appreciate this car in all of its different iterations and forms. I don't want to just go throw a bunch of parts off it right off the rip. However, I can't really rip on it right now because if you remember, the shocks are not really even connected anymore. So the first thing I wanted to do before doing anything, I want to put a set of good suspension on the car, so then I can figure out what else needs to be dialed in terms of arms, alignment, drivetrain. So we ran over to the BC warehouse and picked up a set of nice old BR coilovers. Best bang for your buck on the shelf, ready to rip. Also available at lzmfg.com and can get you entered for a chance to win that Chaser that you just saw got tuned. Not gonna win you a CRX though. So, plan is power throw these things on and then see how it feels and actually appreciate the power, since it'll be able to put it down without wheel hopping a bajillion times. This is my first coilovers I've ever done on a Honda. They look the same. You smell that? What? It smells a bit skunky. Get it? Now, I didn't go on the Honda forums to look at the DIY crowd do this, but it looks pretty self-explanatory. You got a jingle jangle in here. I gotta separate it. I hope I do something wrong so you guys can be like, I was working on Hondas when I was 16 and you didn't know to disconnect that. I don't know if this is correct, but we're gonna try it. The brake line is attached Oh, that's part of the skunk. Let me eradicate that. Everything's so small.
Small car. Small car parts.
I feel like I made a mistake by not separating.
I'll put a nut up here.
Actually.
What?
I'll fly out the back of it. This is why I ruined my nice Ford hats.
He keeps whacking them against the
dirty cars.
Yeah.
I keep buying all these Hondas.
Yeah, there you go. Ash Ketchum.
You. There we go.
Yup. Yummy. Just dropping everything.
Do you ever think, like, at some point in time, people might care about this car like they care about my Cream S13? Like, 10 years down the road, this might become an icon of the compound. And this coilover that I'm about to throw out is going to be sitting in some junkyard. And I could have had it on my shelf as a memory.
Well, you got 3 more that you could make that decision with before.
This is also why my shelf is full of junk.
Yeah. There you go.
Oops. You know, I was thinking earlier, my typical Adam thought process where I start to like a car and then I'm like, man, some of this interior stuff's probably hard to get. It's got a lot of stuff. But if I end up liking this car, maybe I should put full interior back into it. Maybe I should get a worse one for the compound. And that's how it all starts. But I'm gonna try to do my best to just enjoy this car and not fully restore it. Although I'll probably end up painting the bay and the car and putting zinc hardware on it. I'll try my best not to put interior in it. Run done.
There's very little left, but
Can you pass me the side? This side. It's the ratchet. We call it the side. The electric ratchet. Dude, it was funny. I was tightening the other side. I've never worked on such a light car where me tightening it literally was like lifting the car off the lift. Off camera, I was showing off to my girlfriend, Poppin' VTech, and I developed a coolant leak. Good fun fact, you can go to an AutoZone and you can rent a radiator pressure tester for free. I recommend doing it on any engine swap, anytime you have a coolant leak. It just saves a lot of headache because a lot of times leaks don't present themselves unless you have pressure. So, you pop one of these caps on, and you just pressurize the system. It works better if it's sealed here. No work on my kit. No work on Honda radiator. Someone said to check the block, and it tells you what kind of motor it is.
yeah.
Where?
The stamping's like right up there.
Oh,
It's on the upside. It's B18C1.
that's what I have.
Yep.
Is that the good one?
GSR.
Oh, and
GSR is
GDM?
good.
GDM.
It could be JDM. I don't know, but GSR good.
Okay. Let's find the coolant leak.
See, I thought that it was the guy way in the back up here because it's got like a split pipe or like a just an extension in between the two.
It's very slippery under here. There's like 8 different places it could be. What it looks like to be is there's a hose on the intake manifold.
Adam pulled the plug.
I think it was that one.
I mean, if you're able to just pull it off like that, then it's very possible.
There's another one too. Oh, yeah, it was definitely that one. Nice. Both of those need hose clamps. Also, in case you guys are wondering, Johan's had his hands full with E36 prep. That's why I've just been kind of occupying myself with this thing. Also, whenever your car's in the air, always wiggle the wheel to find bad bushings right away. I've got a bad upper control arm bushing. Couldn't tell that before because the struts were so blown. Let's check the other side. This feels like something else. This is also has like disc brakes, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you mind wiggling that for me, Mike? Oh, that's the whole upper control arm on the inside.
Oh, it's loose.
Is it?
Yeah. Look at the gap up in there. Above it. See that?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's loose. So that needs to get tightened. Those are on the back side of the strut tower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch. Big find, no sway bar in the rear. Sway bar key, make drift. Rear is tight. That front has a loose upper control arm. This one has a bad upper control arm ball joint. I'll order that online.
Actually, you might have it.
Oh, imagine.
Maybe.
Ooh, I need to remember to tighten that.
Actually, no, those aren't motor ones.
What is it?
Those are rear trailing bushings.
This looks like tie rods.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not SPL, that's ashtray.
Got me again. Ride height's definitely not set, but I'm gonna try to get my baseline to see how the car feels, let everything kind of settle, and then I'll worry about aligning and dialing that in perfect.
Oldest gas cab we got.
I was speaking to Ray, he has no idea how I was even running on the gas with how old it is. Don't feel bad. Probably drain it, but fresh gas will do. It's a lot more responsive with this fuel. Had 2 drops. It's about to rain, so there's like a corner. I'm gonna see how the suspension feels. I haven't really gotten to do a corner with this thing without it bouncing around. I'm curious how it's gonna come at a corner exit. I know it needs a bar to be able to get it to rotate, but we'll see.
You're doing good.
I did the Manji.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, we'd be able to do that without having to use the handbrake to initiate.
Yeah.
It's weird because my brain goes to counter steer, but you don't counter steer because it's like driving an all-wheel drive car. So like I'm counter steering and then it pulls me the other way. That's why I'm like drifting and then it looks like I start going the other way. But
you're ripping though.
Dude, what's crazy is like I feel like this thing revs to like 9 grand.
It's not far from there.
Because it goes past the 8,000.
Yeah. I mean, it's a GSR, so I mean, I need to brush up on my Honda knowledge too, but I'm pretty sure they rev past 8.
Is it loud?
Yeah. Well, it's got a good Honda tone. It's not like
I love how it sounds.
Super Rice Honda tone yet, so.
I definitely got to brush up on my driving. It's easy to induce understeer because of the LSD.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of like, you got to rotate and then just freaking point and shoot. Can I watch my little drift Monty?
Yeah.
I feel like Takumi when he learned how to drift all-wheel drive for the first time and then he like had to like relearn everything. I feel like all my practice with this is going to definitely translate to the RTR Mustangs. So I'm pretty excited to brush up on my front-wheel drive knowledge. It's a different beast.
Yeah.
It's a good time though. I can tell that's probably some of my most fun memories are going to come from this guy. Well, I took the R32 to get the AC charge. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I think I need to replace the compressor, maybe the dryer in it. So not a lot of driving this thing going on just because it's so freaking hot in Florida right now. But I haven't done a pull yet with a new power setup. I'm about to do one and show you guys how she feels. I will do a hit from second. Just kidding. There's police. All right, we'll try rolling into it from second. It moves. My dumb self missed in 4th gear. I gotta remember to shift quicker so we get a stoplight down, a little do-over. Very, very smooth. It's weird how much it just keeps pulling up top. Yo, the flames on the shift are sick. What the f? It makes the biggest boom, boom. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it makes me so happy. Yo, this thing's sick. I think it would definitely put up a fight against the R34. See if we can get a little launch action in. This thing's good. What's funny is you'll notice I'm having the same problem I have in the 34 going from 3 to 4. It's got to be a get drag thing in these cars. I'm not gonna lie, I was never the biggest R32 fan. Lately, especially after this car, I've just been loving them. My dad's car too. I just really wish I started messing with R32s as street cars sooner. I had my sedan, but it was really a drift build, and I didn't really do what I think these cars shine so good at. Is you can have the fun of like having an S chassis street car, but you can have the extra rigidity and the extra just nicer materials and heavier feeling car in the sense of having the upper A-arm front suspension that's a little less darty than McPherson. I just really enjoy driving this car, and if it had AC, it would probably be one of my favorite cars to drive. Even with the old school turbo setup, it's fun. I think the 6-speed really makes it. If it didn't have a 6-speed, I'd probably be about that stupid 5-speed, because I've driven R32s before and I hate how the 5-speeds feel. But yeah, I'm enjoying this thing. I'm either looking forward to the cooler weather or looking forward to getting AC fixed. I gotta find a compressor, I found a dryer, or I might end up just redoing the whole kit, so we'll see. We gotta wrap up this video because we are about to head over to Clutch Kickers round 2. E36 is back together. Big shout out Engine Mike, getting the motor refreshed, ready to go. It's on the dyno, about to make some pulls, do a health check, make sure everything's good, a couple test laps, and then go over. I think I'm gonna miss Friday practice, but it's all good. We'll be there Saturday, Sunday. But I'm stoked to not drive it on the bank, because that means that I can add a little bit more grip to the rear. We have to have it a little bit soft just to make sure we can do the thing on the bank, but it's gonna be a good time. So thank you guys for watching this video. A lot of random stuff in it, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon.